Hi guys, welcome back to Ridebrick TV and welcome to the all-new, all-M BMW XM. In this video we're going to take a look at the exterior and interior features of the new XM, and let's start at the front end. I will say with the most controversial bit, but no, the whole of this car is pretty controversial. But let's start right at the front. It's big. There's no other way to say it. It's big. It's got the split light design that we first saw on the new i7 and the new facelifted X7. The grills on this car are horizontal rather than vertical as they are on most M products. The grills here are actually illuminated as well, so it's even more presence at night. You've got XM designation here. You've got a big indentation in the bonnet here, which is almost carried over from the M3. It is a very imposing car. I love the colour of this one with the blue, with this sort of the gloss black different front end. It is mighty big, isn't it? It almost looks a little bit more, I would say, subtle than the big grills on the M3 and M4, but there's nothing subtle about this car. It is imposing, it's got presence, and this front end, if this comes up behind you, you're going to know exactly what it is and you're going to get out of the way. Before we talk too much about the design on the side, we need to talk about some of the technical points of this car. In essence, this is the most powerful car BMW has ever made. Although that's slightly a lie in the case of this one, because there's two versions of the XM currently. You've got this, which is the standard XM, then there is the Label Red. Now this one is a 4.4 litre twin turbocharged V8 with a hybrid system, same as the Label Red. This particular car, the XM, produces 650 horsepower and 800 Newton meters of torque and has a 0 to 62 mile an hour sprint time of 4.3 seconds. The Label Red has more. Quite a bit more. It has 750 horsepower and 1,000 Newton meters of torque, which means 0 to 62 is dealt with in under 4 seconds. And there's no other way of putting it, that's pretty ballistic. But because this is a hybrid, you've also got up to 55 miles on battery power alone. Enough of that, let's move back to the design. As you move along the side, we've got these large 22-inch alloy wheels, which are bespoke for the XM. You've got XM model designation here on this sort of gloss black strip, which you can follow the whole way round the car, up and over the roofline and back down. It's actually a bit of a strange shape, this, isn't it? It's kind of not an SUV and kind of not a coupe. It's a little bit in between. The door handles on this car are new as well. They've got this little bit that sort of goes a bit to the back, hangs over. Of course, we have got M door mirrors, highly fistable M door mirrors, as we're used to on M products. And then, let's take a look at the back, shall we? It is, I think, the most controversial part of an already controversial car. Let's point out some of the design cues. We've got these really 3D design LED rear lights with this really nice soft glow. They're really pronounced, they stick out of the car an awful lot. There's not actually a whole lot going on here. There's a crease here. The model designation is up here instead of down here. There is a large diffuser at the back, which doesn't really diffuse anything. And then we've got quad pipes, but not like any other BMW quad pipes we've seen before. Normally, they'd be here, wouldn't they? But no, instead, they're stacked up vertically, and they look absolutely enormous. You can actually almost get your fist in there. I'm not going to because I've just driven this car and it's quite hot. And also another little cute design cue back to the M1 are the roundels up here on the window. One here and one here. We've seen that before on the M1. There's also something about this rear glass. It's almost pillarless. There's no sort of seals going around it. It's actually a really nicely sculpted one piece. Now, of course, because this is an XM, it's not a supercar, it's an SUV. It also has to have plenty of boot space. So we'll pop the boot, and there is a rather usable over 500 litres of boot space in here. Now the lip up is quite high, so if you say have an elderly dog, you're going to have to lift it quite a long way up. But there is an awful lot of space in here, and something else really lovely as well. When you purchase an XM, you get one of these beautiful bags to store all your charging cables in. We'll open this up. They're all stored in here. It's a nice little touch, that is. But when we're talking about charging, where are the charging ports? Let me show you. It is here on the passenger side of the car. Now, unfortunately, the XM only charges on 7 kilowatts, so it takes around 4.5 hours to charge fully. But if you think about it, just plug this car in overnight and it's fully charged by the morning. I mean, is that such a bad thing? Plus, the car charges itself while you're driving anyway, so realistically, are you ever going to be plugging this car in? I'm not sure you are. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go and have a look inside. Let's start with the rear space. There is absolutely acres of space back here in the XM. This seat in front is sat to my driving position. I'm around 5'11", so not the tallest, but there's loads and loads of space, loads of headroom. This headlining is absolutely glorious. It's this sort of prismy effect with some beautiful ambient lighting running along. It's so comfortable. These seats are gorgeous. I love the diamond effect on them. The feel of everything back here is lovely. The design's beautiful. There's loads of space. There's a little armrest in the middle here with 2 cup holders as well. We've got heated seats back here, dual zone climate control. It's a glorious place to sit back here. But realistically, where I want to be is 1 seat forwards. There we go. This is where I want to be, in the driver's seat. Now, let's talk about this interior. It's actually very familiar. If you know the BMW brand, you'll feel right at home the second you jump in here. We've got the new large infotainment screen which wraps around on the dashboard. It takes some getting used to, this new system, this operating system 8. However, you're just going to link your phone to it. You're going to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, both of which are wireless, by the way. You've got a wireless charging pad in the middle. You've got heated and cooled cup holders. This carbon fibre trim is really lovely. Steering wheel is what we've come used to from BMW. It's got the tricolore design in the stitching, the M buttons, which can be set obviously for your M driving mode. You've got these carbon shift paddles as well. We've got a gorgeous Bowers & Wilkins surround sound system in here, which is glorious. I love this brown effect, leather. Everything across the dashboard is leather. The speakers for that sound system are actually built in to the dashboard up here. You've got Alcantara brown headlining as well in this particular car. It's glorious. The seats are super comfortable, incredibly comfortable. And also something that's really, really cool is the startup procedure with this car is actually being composed, the noise, by Hans Zimmer. So what I'm going to do now, if I just press the start button, ooh, funky. You then also get, ooh, and goodbye, you get the tricolore, the BMW tricolore go across the ambient lighting in the roof. So if I just start it up again, ooh, that's special. That's incredibly special, actually. Sounds fantastic and looks great as well. I've already mentioned this gorgeous prism Alcantara headlining. It is fantastic. You've got heads-up display directly in front of me. The view out is brilliant. Everything feels high quality and expensive. Yep, it's not bad in here. It's rather nice. I very much like it. The seats are beautiful. Everything's fantastic. It feels really high quality. It's mega. So there we go, the exterior and interior of the new BMW XM. Please let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, as I've already mentioned, stay tuned for the video next week where I take this thing for a drive out on some glorious Welsh roads. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. If you want any more information on the BMW XM or any BMW for that matter, please use the link in the description of this video to contact your nearest Rybrook BMW retailer. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for plenty more content to come. And well, I'll see you next week for the first drive.